the 40, stays on his feet, cuts it back. Marion Brown, another kickoff return for a touchdown.
Look out, there goes two, no flags. Touchdown.
Howard in trouble.
Incomplete, and the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world.
Time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out, and that'll do it.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. They storm the field at Austin. He handed it off to Love, who stays on his feet. Love is in the end zone. Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl, and Marcus Freeman is taking them to the championship game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Week Zero podcast. Tonight, I am your host, Ryan Eat Shit Pitt Ferville, with my co-host Luke Dog McTight and our resident Kentucky fan who is camping with the boys. We got our boy Josh. We are back for another episode, but for Week 12, man, has this season flew by. I feel like it was just week 1 not that long ago, and we're already almost done with the college football season. So how are we doing, boys?
Ryan, what are you talking about? We're only 2/3 of the way there.
Got 2 to 3 more games, man. It's sad.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It feels like it was just week 1, like 12 weeks ago. It's insane. Doing good, my friend. Doing very good. And Ducks are about to kick off in about 20 minutes, and I couldn't be happier.
How are you doing, man?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, it's been a tough week to be a Kentucky fan. You know, losing to Louisville is never acceptable. Doesn't matter what sport, never acceptable.
You won a football game though.
Yeah, I know. We beat the Tar out of Florida. And hey, again, I was proven right. I said DJ Lagway is going to have a sophomore slump like you wouldn't believe. And what happened? He got benched.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't think I've seen
after his coach got fired.
I don't think I've seen so many articles about a Heisman candidate get deleted so quickly off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got a lot to get into. Let's hurry up and kind of get through it because I know Lucas just want to get to watch his Ducks. First things first. Speaking of the Ducks, Oregon and Indiana scraped by Iowa and Penn State. 2 games that came down to the wire, had some controversial calls. One was a great catch, one was a great almost catch for Iowa. What's the level cause for a concern for Oregon and Indiana as we head down the backstretch of the season?
Well, I guess I can kick it off because it's my Ducks. As far as Indiana goes, I'm not worried. I think Penn State, even though they've had a really rough season, they're still a team full of 4 and 5 stars. And so they're going to play some good games, especially when the time's, called upon them to play a good game. And their quarterback really came into play in this game. And I believe he was like a 4-star or something like that. And we gave him a lot of crap. I gave him a lot of crap. Against Ohio State, he looked like the worst quarterback I've ever seen ever play the game of football. And then he kind of came into his own in this one. I'm not worried about it. They made that last drive look extremely easy. You kind of wonder when you're watching them, like, where was that throughout most of the game, where they could just throw like 4 passes and a touchdown. But I think Indiana needed a game like that because even though Oregon gave them a tough one, they had a chip on their shoulder, and I think they needed kind of like the, oh crap, we can actually lose football games. But as for Oregon, I think it just proves that Oregon can play Big Ten football. And a lot of people didn't think they could. And right now, Oregon leads the country in yards per carry. They have 3 running backs of over 400 rushing yards. I'm super impressed, actually. Even though we almost, we squeaked out a win, I'm super impressed with how Oregon was able to go in that game, in another rain game, and just grind it out and get that victory. I think if anything this week, we saw more from Oregon and Indiana than we have all season as far as just gutting out football games.
Yeah. Josh, I don't know how much you got to see of these games, but what are your thoughts?
So I did get to watch the Indiana Penn State game, and I think and what you really saw was the talent that Penn State had this year. Just kind of come out in this game, holding Indiana to their lowest points total on the year.
Yeah.
Defensively, just getting it done. But I kind of agree with Lucas. You saw a lot of resolve from Indiana and from Oregon this past week. So if anything, I'm not worried. I'm a little happy that they got that what's better for learning than losing, right? Well, what's better than losing, but also you're able to learn from it, and almost losing. So I just not really worried as far as Indiana goes, just because of the rest of their season. I'm a little worried about Oregon just because of the expectations, but we'll see in these next coming weeks.
Yeah, so I agree with you guys to a certain extent about Oregon, right? Indiana's one where I've talked about this in the group chat. I think Indiana's a better team than they were last year, right? I don't know what they're going to look like when they play Ohio State, because that's pretty much a given right now, unless Ohio State were to lose to Michigan down the stretch, which, given how the last 5 years have happened, that wouldn't be shocking, right? I don't know. Indiana's been tested twice this year. Iowa and Oregon, right? I just don't know how good they are. And then you have the game against Penn State, which I get it. Penn State has talent, but that's a dead football team right now. That's a team without their head coach, without Drew Aller. Half of those guys are probably thinking about entering the portal and focus on their draft stock. I get it. They probably got up for Indiana because it's a top 10 team coming into your house, right? But you still, if you are a team that can go out there and beat Ohio State, you need to prove that you can handle business against teams that aren't on your level.
Yeah.
Ohio State handled Penn State just a week ago.
Yeah.
That's where
in
I'm
the
kind
shoe.
of like,
in the shoe, though, I would say it's a little bit different.
But I just left that game thinking I still don't feel good about Indiana beating Ohio State when they match up in the Big Ten title. Oregon, on the other hand, I agree with kind of what Lucas talked about with the Big Ten. I think although I thought they proved last year they were built to win in the Big Ten. They did it. They beat Ohio State early in the year. They played a physical game against Wisconsin last year and came out on top. I will say the Oregon team last year just felt different. The Oregon team last year around this time was just giving belts to everybody who wanted it, right? And I just get a different vibe with this team, right? Now, part of it you didn't have Evan Stewart. DeCorian Moore's been
Might play tonight.
So we'll see what that looks like. But I am interested to see this Oregon team next week against USC, kind of see what the barometer test for those two teams are. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to our next topic. Speaking of Ohio State, I thought it was interesting. I believe it's earlier today or yesterday. One ESPN analyst went on and said that Ohio State is the least tested number one team in college football history. You look at their schedule; they've played one ranked team all year, and that was Texas. Texas clearly isn't what the team that everybody thought they were preseason, right? Outside of that, they've played a lot of the bottom feeders in the Big Ten. Their second best win is against a Washington team that just lost this past weekend to a punter. So that is interesting. How do we feel about this take? Is there some truth to it? Any validity? How do we feel about this?
I disagree. I disagree because I think you'd have to go back into history. You'd have to go back into history. And Josh may have something here, but even going back to like Oregon, right? Last year, I mean, yeah, we beat some ranked teams, but like, how many of them ended up ranked at the end of the year? You know, like obviously Ohio State last year was better than Texas this year, and I understand that, but like you were saying, we were given belt all year. Like we weren't really tested. I think the only game we were tested in really was probably, I mean, obviously Ohio State, but then Wisconsin late at their house. Other than that, it was like we handled Penn State, even though the score was a little bit close in the Big Ten title, but handled that game from start to finish. Like, I don't know. Josh, take it away. What do you got for us?
All right. So, least tested number one team in CFB history. I think there's some validity to it, but let's really look at it here. Ohio State has had to date the 33rd 33rd ranked nationally strength of schedule.
Yeah.
That's not very good. As far as and I know you schedule these games like years in advance, so you can't really, especially being in a conference, you can't exactly control who you play all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean we take number one away from Ohio State though? They haven't lost yet.
Absolutely
they haven't lost yet. They've been beating these teams handily.
Yeah.
Just are they the least tested number one team to this point in the season? Of the top 5 teams in the country, absolutely they're the least tested. But what does that mean when you won the national championship last year and you haven't lost a game since?
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at the teams that are below them. Like if you're talking about making them not number one, like Texas A&M outside of Notre Dame has had a super tame schedule in the SEC, like especially being in the SEC. Like it's been a pretty tame schedule. You look at a team like, Josh, you're giving the face. Look at the teams that they have played in the SEC. Like, I don't see it.
Read them.
I think so. Here's my thing: Missouri and LSU are probably so. Notre Dame's their best win. Missouri and LSU are probably their second and third best wins. Mm-hmm. I think, me personally, I think LSU, even with all the flaws they have, I think Missouri, even with all the flaws they have, are better teams than Washington.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't know that.
I would say.
I don't know that LSU or Missouri beat Washington right now.
That's a wild statement.
Wisconsin did. I mean,
yeah, and I get that. Like, I understand that Wisconsin did, but like, it's still. I mean, any given Saturday, they always talk about that. Like, any team can win any Saturday. I understand, but like, what tells me that LSU beats Washington right now? Nothing. LSU is super inconsistent. They had one game this last week where it was like post Brian Kelly era where they had a little bit of fight in them, still lost by 11 points to Alabama. So like I nothing tells me that LSU is better. Nothing does.
How much would Alabama?
And I am
beat
not
Washington?
Defending Washington right now.
I was about to say,
for
like,
the record.
but like you're taking these teams and you're saying, they played kind of like the middle and bottom of the SEC, and I would wager that the middle and bottom of the SEC are better than the bottom of the Big Ten. I would put Nebraska up against Vanderbilt all day, every day, and take
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
No, and I don't disagree with that. But like, if we were looking at Texas A&M's record, right? So they played obviously.
It's not visually impressive.
No, so I mean,
it's not visually impressive outside of beating Notre Dame.
They got Brian Kelly fired. They played a Missouri team that had a backup quarterback that threw for 70 yards in that game. And then they played Notre Dame, which in all of our opinion, Notre Dame choked that game. They should have won that football game.
Well, in the SEC,
that was bad.
The SEC refs.
No. That was a bad coaching job.
Hold on. Also,
that was a bad coaching job that lost that game.
The SEC refs also redetermined what a holding call is and isn't in that game. Look.
I will never defend the SEC officiating ever. Okay, but that he got out coached. I hate to put it that.
I think he did.
Did.
I think two things can be true. I think he got out coached, I don't think Freeman got out coached. I think Chris Ash got out coached in that game, or DC, because the offense wasn't the problem. The defense.
At a certain point, Ryan, you could. Well, Ryan, at a certain point, you can decline the holding penalty, it was holding on the kickoff team or something like that.
The kickoff return.
Holding on that kickoff.
But that would have then you're giving away the lead.
You can decline that penalty.
And then
you get the ball back with like 2 minutes.
But 2 minutes and 3 timeouts. Here's a point that I want to make going away from that game.
Yeah.
If we really care that much about if you're tested or not, why is Georgia not number one?
I think Alabama. I think Alabama would be the better argument because didn't Alabama have like 4
Alabama is the better argument, but nobody wants to give them the credit because they lost week 1.
Yeah, why is Alabama not number one? Why is Georgia not number 2? Like, I mean, if we really care about that, but we talk about it like we care, especially when it comes to teams like Oregon or Indiana or now Ohio State. We're like, oh, they haven't been tested and blah blah this stuff.
Well, let's say
but then if we don't play well in the game, then we're like, oh, the eye test is bad.
Well, let's see. Let's just say what it is.
Balance?
Let's just say what it is. The Big Ten and the SEC, they get special treatment when it comes to rankings, whether that's the AP poll or the CFB rankings. Ohio State, in my opinion, I don't think Ohio State. In my opinion, I don't think
that stick at.
There's a ton of SEC bias. SEC bias. There's a lot of it.
Hey! Alabama beat preseason number 13 ranked South Carolina. Man, they're looking fantastic.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, but real quick, I feel like me and Josh would agree on this. I don't know how Lucas would feel.
Okay, go ahead.
Personally, I feel like Texas A&M should be the number 1 team in the country right now, based off of what I've seen. I personally would even have Alabama and Georgia ahead of Indiana and ahead of Ohio State, based purely if we're going off of what you have done and who you've beaten, your strength of schedule, your strength of record, right? Why do we see teams like BYU, who's undefeated, not get the same treatment as an undefeated Ohio State who hasn't beat nobody? Because of the patch that they wear on their jersey, right?
BYU's not undefeated.
When they were undefeated.
Okay, but let me help you with this, Ryan.
Yeah.
Where's the talent in college football?
It's in the SEC and Big Ten.
That's why. People don't think about this. Like, let me put it to you this way: Kentucky had this was 2 years ago. Kentucky had the 26th best recruiting class in the country. They were still dead last in the SEC in recruiting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, hold on.
Hard work doesn't beat talent sometimes, but when you've got the most talented players in college football playing on these teams in these conferences, they're playing at a higher level than the Big 12. They're playing at a higher level than.
What's the excuse for Indiana then? Why does Indiana get special treatment?
Indiana gets special treatment because it's a good story.
I agree.
And they're people about 40.
That is very true.
Indiana gets a good.
You always want that. You always want that. Every year it feels like now they want to have that underdog.
Well, isn't Texas Tech a good story? Isn't BYU a good story?
Because they spend a ton of money?
Well, it's a different type of feel-good story, right? Like those.
It's a good story for our government. I don't know about
BYU and Texas Tech have better football histories than Indiana does. So
yeah. So it's not about the history, even though it plays a little bit into it. What it is about is, one, you can't help who you play.
Yes.
2, the only way to overcome a weak strength of schedule is beating teams by 30 and 40 points.
Yeah.
And number 3,
that's the only way you're going to
have a coach that is ready and willing to talk crap on everybody else on national TV.
All right, let's go ahead because we spent a lot of time on this. Let's go ahead and get to our next topic.
We did. 13 minutes on that.
This one was interesting. So Duke right now is Duke in the ACC has the second best odds to win the ACC based off of the schedule that they have left. Mind you, they're coming off a loss.
They have like three or four
losses.
losses.
They have one conference loss.
That's crazy.
And there's still a lot that needs to happen, but I think all they need is one of Georgia Tech or
Virginia
UV to lose one game and win out. And by the way, Duke is in control of that because they play Virginia head to head. So if they beat Virginia and they win out, they will be playing for the ACC title.
Plus, we know how this works. If VT somehow gets to 5-6 and they're playing UVA at UVA, they're going to beat them to become bowl eligible. That's just how it always works.
So here's my thing, and this was interesting because I talked about it on the CFP ranking show. If Duke wins the ACC at 9-4, do we see 2 G6 teams getting over the ACC champ? Mind you, if Tulane wins the American, right? Tulane beat the shit out of Duke, by the way, early in the season. So they'd have the head-to-head. And then on the other side, you would have a 12-1 James Madison team that has just given belt to everybody in the Sun Belt. Do you put those two teams in over a 9-4 Duke, or does Duke get in because power four?
I think you're missing something. There is a ton of teams that are going to finish 10-2 in the Power Four. So they're gonna throw in because the conversation that they're having right now is
you have to get 5 champions in. That's the thing.
So it has to be 5 champions.
It has to be 5 conference champions, highest ranked, no matter what. Get in. That's the problem.
Well, that just means that we very well could see a 4-loss team actually make the playoff because of that. Now,
Do we think Duke should get in?
Ryan. I think this is where Lucas is going, and I'll say this.
Yeah.
You're far more like we'll see a 5th SEC or Big Ten team, if that somehow works out, so they have that many teams at 10-2, make it over a second G6 team.
They can't do that though. That's the thing. It's in the bylaws of the playoff. They have to put the 5 highest rated conference.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Okay. So
then I think you're right. I mean, I think
you're talking about like it would be the highest. It should be like the AAC and then the Mountain West champ.
It would be James Madison. Like I think that would be James Madison would be your best bet to be that second team.
What conference are they again?
They're Sun Belt.
Sun Belt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It's because to me personally, I think it's great that we have the conference championship tie-ins, right? You get an auto bid if you win your conference. I don't think that rule was put in place for a 9-4 Duke. In my opinion, I could be totally off base.
But I also
it was put in place for a 2-10 Florida State. That's who it was.
Yeah,
but
I also don't think though that it was. I also just don't think it was put in place for 2 Group 6.
Yeah,
because you think about it this way, right? I mean, Boise State last year had arguably the best player, the best running back that we've probably seen since Bush.
Derrick Henry.
Maybe
I would say Bush, maybe CMC. Derrick Henry. He had a great career, but we all know that Christian.
Like individually, probably honestly, Bush at least the best single season.
Yeah. So I'm saying like they had him. Their team was remarkable. That was one of the best Group of 6 teams we've seen in a while, and they got donkeyed in the playoff game.
Yeah.
And so like having 2 of them in there is like. I mean, what are we doing at this point? Why have this rule when we want the best teams to play? Because now you're going to run into a situation where you could potentially run into a situation where there's a 10-2 Miami and a 10-2 Notre Dame. Who do you put in?
Well, you're going to have to put a conference champion in over one of them.
Exactly. So you have to put in Miami because Miami beat Notre Dame. How can we leave Notre Dame out of the playoff? They're one of the best teams in the country right now. Go ahead, Josh.
I can answer the question below rather quickly. No.
Why?
Because, and I'll say this in the easiest way I can, even though the ACC kind of sucks right now. A 8-4 Duke is better than a 12-1 JMU.
How do we know that?
Because JMU couldn't even beat Louisville.
But Duke couldn't even beat UConn. And Delaware beat UConn.
And somehow through the multiple circles of suck, it's like the suck Olympics over there. Somehow they managed to win their conference championship.
Well, and Tulane, another G5 team, also gave them belt to ass. So that,
again,
dude, I don't know. So here's my thing. I agree with you, Josh, but I think they deserve a spot. Like, if we were ever to have a scenario,
no, absolutely not. No.
And we
you know what would solve this? You know what would solve this overnight?
What?
Overnight. Go back to the BCS model.
Use the BCS. Just rank the top 12.
Our top four would be Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M.
Well, Notre Dame would be.
Notre Dame would be 5th.
Yeah, Notre Dame would be 5 right now. So, yeah, I mean, I do think though, and this is gonna suck because if this happens, I think this is what would force the ACC and the Big 12 to just be like,
Just
yeah,
fuck it, let's merge.
No, fuck it. We're just going to agree to the mighty Big 10 and SEC because if we do their model, at least we get 2 guaranteed spots. But after this showing, if I'm the Big 10 and the SEC, I'm rewriting that contract and saying, sorry, ACC and Big 12, you only get 1 bid for your conference.
Is it possible? Is it possible that it's rewritten that it's the best team in the conference, not the conference champions?
Yeah, yeah.
Would that be funny?
I think that's how they should do it.
That.
Dude, but can you imagine the uproar if a 9-4 Duke ACC champ were to knock out a Notre Dame or Miami or a 10-2 Big 10 team or a 10-2 SEC team?
All right. I don't know about you guys, but this is a little too hypothetical for me.
All right.
Or not be well, no.
So fine. Okay, Ryan. Countdown timer starts now.
I'm not even going to comment on this. I just want Ryan to go.
So I get the floor? Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I want to say I'm a big fat I told you so to all the LSU fans. I want to say even me and Lucas got into it about this years ago.
It was the winningest coach in your program history, by the way.
It was never a Notre Dame problem. It was always and always will continue to be a Brian Kelly problem. He left, quote unquote, for a better job, for better talent, for a better chance at a national championship. And his predecessor went to a natty at Notre Dame before he even sniffed a playoff at LSU. Isn't that crazy? What? Isn't that fucking wild?
Are you talking about the next head coach of the New York Football Giants?
No, you mean the forever and always Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman? Yeah.
He's had him 3 years. He's forever and always.
Yeah, it's forever and always.
Is that in the contract?
It's in the contract. So yeah. Anyway, it's funny because Brian Kelly left saying he had to shop down a different aisle at Notre Dame for talent because of the academics. Well, I'm sorry by you, Brian. Right now, you're the one shopping down a different aisle, but not for talent, for a job. And it looks like he may not even get the money he was owed, which is absolutely fucking hilarious. Could not have happened to a better human being. Yeah. Anyways, we can move on. That was it. That's what I had to say.
That was very
Come on.
Anyways, let's go ahead and give our reaction to the new CFP rankings. Actually, in better words, the bracket that came out last Tuesday night.
Give it a sec.
Go ahead. By the way, I do want to put this out there as a disclaimer. If Notre Dame and Oregon play in the first round, we are going to that game. I'm just saying right now, so clear your schedules for whenever the first round will be. If Notre Dame is playing Oregon, we are going to that game. That is happening. I believe we would be all in agreement, right?
What day would that game be played?
No fucking idea. I have no idea.
It would be – you can actually –
They would split it up to Friday and Saturday again, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So it would be first round games December 19th and 20th.
So right before Christmas.
Well, at the very least, I have Fridays off, so I'd probably be able to try and make it work if it's all Friday.
And I want to say the 8-9 game was Friday night, wasn't it? It was the same time as it was Saturday night, right?
So there's a Friday night on the 19th. It's all going to come down to where they want these guys to go, but There's going to be one game on Friday and then 3 games on Saturday, the 20th.
Okay. And I'd imagine they probably put the least desirable matchup on a Friday. I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably it would probably be the 12-5.
Yeah, that's fucking sucks. But yeah, if that happens, that's what we're going. Anyways, how do we feel about this current bracket? Did they get the top 12 right? How do we feel about it?
No.
No.
I think Tulane should be the 12 seed right now after the belt that they just gave to Memphis.
Yeah, I thought James Madison, being the only one-loss G5 team, should have slid in there, but I get the whole argument of, well, they don't have the strength of record and the strength of schedule that South Florida, Tulane, and North Texas have, but I think South Florida is getting that they beat Florida. Like they have an SEC win. I think that's kind of what's propping them up ahead of other people personally.
I also think having Miami in there, I guess they're assuming they're going to be ACC champs, and that's why they have them there.
So they did it the highest ranked, and because Georgia Tech is one spot behind them, technically Georgia Tech would get that spot because Miami can't play for the ACC title right now. Miami would need 5 teams ahead of them to all lose to play for the ACC title.
Oh, he had it though.
What game are you watching?
Ducks game.
Connor, how are you feeling about this?
I mean, it's a little annoying that they have Texas there when they haven't done anything to deserve actually being in that spot right now because they haven't. Because they have their 2 probably hardest games left on their schedule, but probably maybe of their entire season, other than the Ohio State game, still left to play, versus Georgia and then Georgia Tech, Texas A&M. I don't think Texas is going to be there. I don't think Texas is going to make it. I feel like they're going to try and force. They're going to be trying so hard to get a 9 or hoping to get a 9-3 team or 9-3 Texas in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen. Now, of the matchups, I do obviously like Notre Dame, Oregon. Miami, Texas Tech would be fun, and Texas, Ole Miss would be fun games. I will say that, though.
You don't think that if Texas beats either A&M or Georgia, then they get in at 9-3?
No, because you would still have Alabama. You still have. It depends.
What if Texas plays a close game against Georgia and loses tomorrow? Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
And then they beat Texas A&M.
Well, it all just depends on whether who then is in the SEC championship. Is it still Texas A&M versus Alabama? Does that somehow open the door for Texas or Georgia to make it versus Bama instead? Because plus Ole Miss. There's Ole Miss as well. I don't see a scenario where a full scenario where they get 5 SEC teams in. I just don't see it.
I think Texas has a better chance of beating A&M than Georgia. I actually think Texas has a really good chance of beating Texas A&M.
So here's my thing. I don't care. 9-3 Texas has no business being in the playoff. I don't care about the strength of schedule. I don't care about the strength of record. I don't care if they go out there and they beat the number 3, 2, or number 1 team in the country in the final week of the season. You can't lose to a hot garbage Florida team and still get in. That's my opinion. If their 3 losses were to 3 ranked teams, cool. You lost to a team that's not even going to sniff a bowl game.
Yeah, but what about Bama?
The difference is Bama doesn't have 3 losses.
You're right.
That's my thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's my thing. If you have 3 losses and one of those is to a trash team, to me, it's kind of like the the Alabama Ole Miss argument from last year. Oh, Alabama, well, we have a tougher strength of schedule than Indiana or SMU. We should be in. You lost to Oklahoma, who was trash. You lost to a Vanderbilt team that went 7-6. You can't. I don't care if you have good wins. If you have a horrifically bad loss, you have to try double to make up for that loss. That's just my opinion. Just like for us last year when we lost to NIU, we had to win out. If we lost another game, we were out, right? I think that's kind of where Texas is, except they have 3 losses. That's just my opinion.
We'd also be saying the same thing if Bama had another loss and they were facing the gun of a possible 3 losses. That Florida State loss would be weighing them down a lot as well.
Yeah. I mean, as far as us, but I mean, I still think Bama would probably be like the 6th seed if they were 7-2.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, if they were, it just feels like Bama or Texas is more likely to be staring down the gun of 3 losses than if Bama was in the same record at 7-2, because based on what their schedule is, unfortunately.
The thing that I have with Texas right now is that they have proven this. If Arch Manning plays well, that team is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's been doing, is playing well. And so, like, if he continues to play well, that team should absolutely be in the college football playoff. And I think we talk about 9-3 and maybe they're not deserving. I think they're a team that is going to play very well in the CFP because of how talented their team is. And if, obviously if Arch Manning keeps it up, if this week, if they play Georgia and they get blown out of the water, then I will retract everything I'm saying right now. But if he is playing well, I think they have a decent chance to beat Georgia. I think they have a good chance to beat Texas A&M. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be a Texas sympathizer because they're hated by everybody. They just we want them to suck so we can keep playing the Sam Ehlinger "We're back." But
that's cool. It's good for our business.
It is good for our business whenever Texas kind of sucks and then they win like one good game and then we can play the "We're back."
Exactly. But then when we can jokingly say we can play it when they inevitably lose.
Yeah,
and miss out on the playoff, and like we're back to being old Texas.
That game, that it's going to be played next week, no matter what happens in this game. That video will be played.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go ahead and get to our pick'ems of the week. Make you get up out of here.
Wait, is Oregon playing right now?
Oregon's playing right now.
Yeah.
Yep. We all took Oregon, right?
Really playing?
There was Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the closest the standings have been since the beginning of the season. Lucas, I don't know what's going on, man. You had I felt like a 5-6 point lead just a few weeks ago, and it's just completely squandered.
Dude, I had 2 weeks that were absolutely terrible, and which is funny because when I looked at my picks from last week, I was like, I went 8-11 last week, by the way. And so I was like, how, like, I'm for sure going to get passed up, maybe by 2 guys. And then I realized we all picked the same fucking teams.
Yeah, we all had very similar.
So I was like, okay, we might be okay.
So you lucked out because so many of us, all of us picked pretty much the exact same pick'ems last
year.
So
the only reason I snuck back up there was because I got the Delaware pick right. Everybody else took Louisiana Tech. I got who was the upset? I took I took Wake over Louisville, which that helped me and Connor out because we both took Wake. Or Wake over UVA. And there was another one I got that also helped me. But like when I was counting the pick'ems together and I was watching the live stream, I'm going through the line and I'm like, we're all picking the same shit. And then I double check the score to make sure I'm putting it in right. It's just like, yeah, we picked this team, X, pick this team, X, this team, X. Oh, like we took a lot of favorites too, and a lot of the favorites shit the bed last week.
But at the same time, I feel like we couldn't even think of any logical reason to not take them last week either.
And what was ironic is I think it was either Lucas or Connor. When the Louisville Cal game came up, one of you guys was like, I don't even know why this fucking game is up here.
Yeah.
Like Louisville's gonna run through them like a red light. It's all take that. Yeah.
Dude, Minnesota is coming out with some trickery and some crazy shit, and it's just getting shut down. It's so funny to watch.
All right, first game. Memphis at East Carolina. Funny enough, East Carolina has they control their own destiny to the American Championship. East Carolina is a 3-point favorite at home.
I'm gonna take Memphis on a bounce back.
I want to take East Carolina because it's at home. Give me Memphis and a bounce back as well.
I do find it interesting though that East Carolina is the one that's favored though.
It's a pick 'em, but because they're at home, they get 3 points.
It's because they just watched Memphis get donkeyed.
That too.
I'll take the close hometown team that's close to where I live right now. I'll take East Carolina. Go Pirates.
All right. Mississippi State at Missouri. Missouri is a 7-point favorite. This game will be played between two backup quarterbacks.
Yep, and because of that, I'm taking Missouri because they just have a better team.
Yeah, give me Mizzou as well.
Go Fighting Liam Doherty's. My cousin went to Mizzou. Go Mizzou.
All right. Kennesaw State, our 2024 Week Zero podcast team of the year that last year, I believe, won one game all of last season.
Yep.
Is now 7-2, vying for a Conference USA championship at Jacksonville State. There was no line for this game.
I got to go with the boys. I'm going Kennesaw.
Give me the Fighting Owls of Kennesaw State as well in this one.
I see Kennesaw took the advice of many a college football 25 fan and followed the recipe for a proper rebuild of their team. Go Kennesaw State, because they were the worst team in the game last year, right? And this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, go Kennesaw State.
All right. Boise State at San Diego State, Mountain West Conference implications. San Diego State's coming off of a drubbing by Hawaii, of all people, last week. But they are 3-point favorites at home.
By the way, Kennesaw State, the Fighting Bronson Rechsteiners. He was a running back that signed with the Ravens in 2020. I'm going Boise in this one.
Yeah, San Diego State's got a great defense. For some reason, Hawaii was able to break through that defense. Give me the team that is the defending Mountain West champs in Boise State.
Yeah, I think we all took San Diego State last week, and we got burned on that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take them again. Give me the Fighting Rashad Pennies. Go San Diego State.
The Fighting Jordan Maivas.
Yeah.
Good one. Good call back.
All right. Arizona at number 25 Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 6-point favorite at home.
I'm going to take the Davey O'Brien. I think it's the O'Brien or the Maxwell. I don't know. Semifinalist Brandon Sorsby and Cincinnati.
Yeah, give me the Bearcats in this one over the Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, give me Cincy. They're going to be the only Cincy that's going to win this week because the Bengals defense sucks.
Zona's actually having a very good season this year for what expectations were.
Yeah.
Number 24, South Florida at Navy. They are a 10-point favorite on the road. Mind you, though, I believe Navy has won the past 4 matchups against South Florida.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. This is the best South Florida team I've ever seen. Yeah, South Florida.
Oh, man. See, if Navy, I want to take Navy just for narrative's sake. I'm going to take South Florida. Give me the Bulls in this one. Connor?
I'm riding with them. I've been riding with them all year. I will always ride with them. Go Navy, beat Army, even though they're not playing Army. Horvath's going to hopefully run all over the Bulls.
Is he playing?
I have no idea. Let me check. Let me double check.
Well, is he injured?
He didn't play against Notre Dame.
Questionable whether or not to play next game.
Is already dealing with an upper body injury. Let's see.
If we see a big drop in this line before the game starts tomorrow, that'll mean that Horvath is playing. I guarantee it. That's why this line's so big. I guarantee you that's why. It's because.
Here's my thing. Here's my caveat. If Blake Horvath plays, I'm taking Navy.
Is that okay? Is that okay with you, Lucas?
I feel like that's...
No, yeah, that's fair. I'm still taking South Florida. That offense is just too explosive. And Navy has a terrible defense.
That is I will say that is very true, and that does worry me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm still rocking with them. Go Navy.
All right. Number 21, Iowa at number 17, USC. USC is a 6.5-point favorite.
This is an easy one for me because USC has Swiss cheese defense. I think Iowa is going to absolutely run down their throat. I think it's going to happen this game, and then it's going to happen next week again when they play the best running team in college football right now in Oregon. USC cannot stop a nosebleed. The only reason why they beat Northwestern is because they have a good enough offense to do it. They're not going to do that against Iowa. They're not going to do that against Oregon. Iowa, straight up.
I'm taking USC mainly because this game's at home. And under Lincoln Riley, this USC team is just completely different. Their offense is one of the best in the country. I just don't think Iowa's got a great defense.
Go Noahs!
Who does Iowa have to guard Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane? Until they can prove that question, I'm going with USC in this one. Connor?
Oh, I was even before Lucas. I mean, even with how tightly they played, Iowa played Oregon. I was going to take Iowa all the way. Go Iowa. Go Hawkeyes. I think defense will travel well.
This one was playing right now. Clemson at Louisville. I believe I took Louisville. Lucas?
I took Louisville as well.
Same.
But are they down?
What's the score of that one?
It's 10-9 at halftime, Clemson.
Okay. All right. Number 19, Virginia at Duke. Huge ACC championship implications, believe it or not.
By the way, Oregon has a true freshman running back that now has 12 rushing touchdowns this year.
Insane.
He has two in this game already. I'm taking Virginia on a bounce back game. Yeah, I'm taking Virginia on a bounce back.
Is Chandler Morris going to be back?
He is a semifinalist for the O'Brien, so hopefully.
I see Chandler Morris. Go ahead, Connor.
Oh, I'm never picking UVA to win anything. So go Blue Devils.
So it just came out. Come on. He is trending towards starting, but he's still. I'm still taking Duke. It's at Duke. They're the favorite for the reason. I want fucking chaos. Give me that Duke 9-4 ACC championship.
Give me that, huh?
Yeah. All right. NC State at Miami. Miami is, believe it or not, a 15.5-point favorite at home. Caveats here. Miami is without their best corner on their defense. NC State, however, is getting back Hollywood Smothers, who is one of the best backs, if not the best running back in the ACC, back for this game, and Justin Jolly, their star tight end for this one.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit harder, but I'm still thinking Miami. I'm still thinking Miami is gonna pull it out.
Would you take NC State in the points?
Yes.
Yeah, I take the point. Yeah.
Yes.
This is part wishful thinking, but also part looking at how NC State played Georgia Tech last week. And CJ Bailey is playing as one of the hottest quarterbacks in the country right now. It's a homecoming for CJ Bailey. He's a Miami native. Miami never offered him. And that was he grew up a Miami fan. Give me NC State on the road pulling off the upset to beat the Canes.
Miami.
All right. Number 13, Utah at Baylor. Another upset watch game. Utah is a 7.5-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, I'm going Utah.
You mean the Utes?
If Baylor had a semblance of a defense, I would take them in this game. But because they don't, I think it's going to be a shootout. Give me Utah in that one. TCU, another upset alert game. TCU at number 12 BYU. BYU is only a 3.5-point favorite at home, coming off getting their ass kicked last weekend.
Yeah, they just couldn't put their offense together last week, but I think it's, large part to having a true freshman quarterback playing against a really good Texas Tech team. I think he's going to bounce back. I got BYU winning.
Oh, man. I want to take TCU so bad. I'm going to be the safe pick and give me BYU. I would not be shocked if TCU wins this one.
Oh, yeah, TCU. Give me TCU.
Ooh. Number 11, Oklahoma at number 4, Alabama. Alabama's only a 6-point favorite at home. Does Oklahoma upset Bama for the second straight year?
I'm taking the Sooners.
Ooh.
I just think that this is a bad matchup for Alabama, and I think the Sooners win. I think they, hurt Alabama for the second straight year, and I'm taking the Sooners.
Give me Bama in this one. Roll Tide, roll.
Yeah, roll Tide.
All right. Florida at number 7, Ole Miss. Battle for the lane train. Does Florida upset Ole Miss?
Yeah, winner gets to keep Lane.
The winner gets Lane Kiffin. Does Florida upset Ole Miss for the second straight year and derail their season?
That's crazy. Brennan Finney just gave up, I think his second catch of the season, which is kind of ridiculous against fucking Minnesota. For the record, Lane Kiffin is the next head coach of the Tennessee Titans, for one. And for two, Ole Miss is going to donkey Florida.
I would not be touching this over. I would not be touching that money line, that line at all. Yeah, give me Ole Miss. They're going to win by 30.
All right, UCF at number 6, Texas Tech. Texas Tech's a 24-point favorite at home. A letdown spot for Texas Tech after a huge win.
Not even a little bit.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I guess we're all taking Texas Tech.
Yes.
All right. Tennessee Tech at Kentucky. I know Connor.
I know who Connor's picking.
I made a mistake. I did not mean to take that unintentionally. I was not paying attention. I was just writing it.
I don't know, man. Tennessee Tech, they've got a really darn good team.
Is there an actual line for this game?
No, there's not.
Okay, yeah, give me Kentucky.
Yeah, give me Kentucky.
I am curious.
Oh, shut up! You're not.
No. I'm taking Kentucky. However,
you want to know what the spread would be?
I want to see how good this team really is. Let's look at some statistics. All right. So their quarterback currently has 22 touchdowns and just 4 interceptions on 2,000 yards. They have 3 different running backs their quarterback. Oh, their quarterback can fly. He has 400 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Okay, I mean they're pretty decent. Let's look at their schedule. So they almost lost to Gardner Webb. They beat him by 6. Let's see. They had a close game with Charleston Southern, and that was about it. They beat the hell out of everybody else. It's kind of sad that this game is on a schedule. Fuck the SEC for this, because Tennessee Tech could literally have an undefeated season, but the SEC has to just fuck over these teams.
The SEC wants that additional one more cupcake at the end of the season before.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit.
It is. All right. Virginia Tech at Florida State. Florida State is somehow, some way, a 13.5-point favorite.
Well, our quarterback sucks. Our offense is mid, and our defense is not very good.
You're muted, by the way, Lucas.
Yeah, for some reason, disconnect. We've talked about this before. I do think that Virginia Tech has played better since firing their head coach.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, you could argue they should be 5-4 instead of 3-6. They should have 2 more wins.
I could agree with that, and I also think that Virginia Tech is a tougher team than Florida State. I think Florida State's kind of soft, like cupcake, and so I'm going to take Virginia Tech in this game.
I'm going to take Florida State just because I think they got the talent fee will come to pass in this one, so give me the Noles.
Yeah, every time I've taken VT this year, it's backfired. So I'm gonna until we get the news of whoever they've hired as the new head coach, which apparently it's Franklin, but apparently industry insiders, which obviously not going to put too much credence on this, but they are saying that VT supposedly is getting a little impatient because Franklin is kind of waiting to see what happens with Florida State and some other positions, and that they might move on and not hire and maybe move off of him.
Hey, you guys got Brian Callahan.
Honestly, I'd rather if they don't get Franklin, I'd want it to be
Brian Kelly's there.
No,
BK.
Chesney from ODU or from JJ.
Oh man! All right.
Florida State. Yeah, I'm taking Florida State.
All right. Number 18, Michigan at Northwestern. This game actually is going to be sort of a neutral site. They're playing at Wrigley. Michigan is a 12.5-point favorite on the road.
Oh, they're doing that type of game. Nice.
Hey, quick fun fact. Oregon has 8 first downs in this game, and Minnesota has 7 total plays.
That's crazy.
What's the score?
14-0.
14-0.
I'm going to take Michigan in this one.
I would not be surprised if Northwestern won this game because of how hot garbage Michigan's offense is. I'm going to take Michigan, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, I'll take the Wolverines. Wolverine.
All right. The college game day game of the week. Number 9, Notre Dame at number 22, Pittsburgh. According to Pittsburgh's head coach, this game does not matter.
He did say that, which is kind of crazy.
Who said that?
Pat Narduzzi said, I would gladly get beat 110-10 by Notre Dame if we won our next 2 games. This game is not a must-win as long as we win our next 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah, he literally said that. He does not care. However, the players care, and Pittsburgh has one of the best run defenses in college football. Their quarterback's playing good. Their offense is playing good. I'm taking Pittsburgh straight up.
Wow.
Yeah, I unfortunately stole my thunder because I was going to take Pittsburgh as I had already taken Pittsburgh before, or I was planning to take Pittsburgh anyway.
If CJ Carr can win this game by himself, because I think he will have to, because like I said, Pittsburgh.
They're going to sell out for the run. They're going to
run
sell out
defense.
they're going to, yeah.
If CJ Carr can win this game by himself, I will be very impressed and happy for Ryan. And honestly, it's, it makes more sense for me to pick Notre Dame. But because of the fact that I don't know if he can, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
The last few weeks, Boston College and Navy have stacked the box and just forced Notre Dame to throw the ball.
Those teams are terrible.
They're terrible. But CJ Carr was able to do it against them. I think Pittsburgh, the weakness of Pittsburgh's defense is their DBs, and they're going to be without one of their starting quarters for this game. I think Jeremiah Love's going to get his fill, no matter how good Pitt's run defense is, because Jeremiah Love is Jeremiah Love. I do think, though, this is a Carr game. I think it's going to be close, but I think Notre Dame gets the win. And, yeah, I don't like how this is setting up because our 2 losses this year, I was the only one on the show that picked Notre Dame to win. So you guys are trying to jinx us right now. Minnesota at Oregon, I believe we all took Oregon for this one.
Minnesota has way too many white boys on defense.
What's wrong with Coy Parrish, man?
Dude, they have like 7 of their 11 starters on defense are white guys.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that white guys are ass usually at football. Unless you're playing offensive line or quarterback.
Unless you're Cooper DeJean.
A rare breed. Or your boy. You forgot your boy.
Riley Moss, yeah.
Riley Moss.
Yeah. All right. Week 0 podcast team of the year, Delaware, the Fighting Blue Hens, on the road at Sam Houston State, who got their first win of the season against Oregon State, by the way. Funny as it may be, I'm going to assume we're all taking Delaware in this game.
Yeah, I got to stop doubting Delaware, man. Like, this is what's crazy is Delaware is about to have they probably already do have the best record of any team
they do.
We've had.
I think they might be the only one that will have a winning record.
Also, how the fuck did Oregon State lose as a 20-plus point favorite to Sam Houston State at home?
You know what's even crazier? Oregon State was up 20-0 and lost this game.
I feel bad for little bro. R.I.P. Malik Murphy. Like, if he thought, I don't know what he thought by going to Oregon State, but
bro,
I feel bad for.
I feel bad for the new look Pac-12. That is just a shit show over there.
Hey, they got Texas State, man. What do you mean?
Go Fighting Joe Flacco's.
All right, speaking of the Beavers, they are also for the second consecutive week, our $1 ticket game. Oregon State goes on the road to Tulsa.
I mean, we know. I mean,
after that performance, we're all taking Tulsa, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking how the fuck is Oregon State favored? That's my question.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Give me Tulsa. All right. Week 0 podcast game of the week, number 10, Texas at number 5, Georgia. Georgia is a 6.5 point favorite. Rematch of the SEC championship game from last year.
So I talked about this earlier. I think Arch Manning can go out there and have a good game. I still think Georgia wins this, but I think it's going to be close. I think that 6.5 is right about there. It's probably going to be a 3 or 7 win for Georgia. The problem with Georgia is that you can never count those bastards out. Like, they'll be down by 40 into the fourth quarter and somehow pull that game out. It's driving me nuts every single time.
2020 to now, like the 2020s Georgia is a lot like the 2010s Alabama teams.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. They are never out of a game.
And if anything, we're more shocked when they do lose a game because of it.
Yeah. I'm taking Georgia. Lucas, you took Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Connor?
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia. I just think that, I like that Arch Manning has gotten better over the course of the season, but I think this is going to be the best defense he's played all year. Well, actually, maybe other than Ohio State's, and I think he's going to struggle.
All right. Well, that's it for our pick'ems. Connor, you want to take us out?
Yes, I'm sorry I was late. I was on a date, actually, so. What kind of a date? So, we'll see.
He thought it was a date.
Enjoyed some nice townhouses.
Here we go.
I'm the best there is. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Okay.
There we go, Connor.
A lot.
Congratulations.
Makes me joined by a lot, dude.
Yeah,
We need like just one. So,
Yeah.
okay. So I apologize. I wasn't there for the intro, but I got you for Ryan, for Lucas, for Josh, who was here earlier, but his connection was bad. I'm Connor. This has been this Week So podcast. We will see you guys later.